I spoke with eCapitol News Director Sean Ashley about the debate and other news from the campaign trail. Sean, what was your reaction to the first and only gubernatorial debate?
Well, I'm sad that it's the only gubernatorial debate we'll see this campaign season, because I would really like to see them go at it a little bit more. That was one of the shortcomings, I think, of this debate, is that the two candidates really didn't have an opportunity to have a back and forth. I think in the end, what we will probably see is what we see so often now in debates, is that the supporters of one candidate will feel like that candidate won, and the supporters of the other candidate will feel like their candidate won. Much of what we heard on Thursday evening was in keeping with what we've heard from them throughout the campaign. We heard Governor Mary Fallin speak about her record and what she believes she has accomplished for the state. And we heard Representative Dorman talk about what he believes she has done wrong. Throughout this cycle of the election, what we have seen is that Governor Mary Fallin is running for re-election. She hardly ever mentions her opponent. She focuses on what she's done the last 4 years, while Representative Dorman is running against Mary Fallin and focuses on her record to say that it is wrong and not in the best interest of the state of Oklahoma. And ultimately, Oklahomans will have to make up their mind based on what they've heard on who will lead the state for the next 4 years.
There weren't any real human moments. It was mostly just about policy and familiar talking points.
It very much was that. You heard Governor Mary Fallin, for example, talk about the various education initiatives which she has supported, which Representative Dorman largely has opposed and he says are bad for the state. We heard Governor Fallin talk about the problems with Obamacare and to focus on the idea that the President of the United States was proposing policies that would be bad for the state, as she sort of tried to tie Representative Dorman to that. We saw Representative Dorman also sort of take on the governor's relationship in opposing those type issues, saying we need to look more at what's better for the state and for rural Oklahoma.
There are a couple of legislative races that you're watching closely.
Yeah, over the last couple of weeks, I've really been interested in a couple of Senate races. The race down in District 6, where Josh Burkeen is seeking re-election, and then the race down in District 44, where Senator Ralph Shorty is seeking re-election. Both of these seats were previously held by Democrats. They've been held for the last 4 years by a Republican. Now what we have are Democrats in each of these races who are fairly well financed and seem to be running fairly strong campaigns against those Republican incumbents. And then to throw another factor into the mix, there's also an independent in each of these campaigns. Traditionally, what we have seen in Oklahoma over the last several years is that independents pull votes from Republicans. So that creates an awkward situation in both these races, where the Republican incumbents facing fairly good Democratic challengers could see some of their votes going to the wayside. And I think on election night, these will be a couple of the fun races to watch.
eCapitol News Director Sean Ashley, thank you on the campaign trail.
You're very welcome.